Okay, who's there today?
Griffin and entire herd, entire family,
Okay.
entire friends,
Mom, I
and
love you. I love everybody.
yes, the multidimensional beings I don't know that are human and crossover and
Okay. Okay. Hi, Griff. I love you, sweetheart.
he says, "Hi, Mama."
I love you. It really sucks that you're so much spiritually more advanced than I am. I was thinking I've really got to get back to reading because I'm looking really not deep compared to you at this point.
Griffin says, "Audiobooks and buy the book. Turn
Right,
it on, flip the pages while you're looking." He says, "You need to see it and
right,
hear it to think about it and absorb it."
right, right. I like to feel, yeah, for sure. Touching it and hearing it at the same time.
I said, "Griffin, what would be on your reading list? Like what would be on your reading list for your mom?
Mm-hmm.
And then what would be on a reading list for just anybody who's stepping into this?"
Mm-hmm.
All right. Rub your hands like an evil villain. Number one for mom. I knew it'd be a challenge. Radical Acceptance.
Mm-hmm.
That's the name of the book. Radical Acceptance.
Mm-hmm.
Sacred Contracts is the second one.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know. Tell me again. Power versus Force. Biology of Belief. How many was that? 4?
4. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I love it.
And he says for anybody who's just jumping in,
Mm-hmm.
he would put Radical Acceptance in there as well, because he says, I think people need to connect to who they are
Mm-hmm.
and make peace with themselves before they can have any room in their head to learn something, especially that goes beyond them and doesn't suggest that we need your ego to be able to know this so that we can say we can learn something without being intelligent. He says that's huge because I think that in the States, the emphasis is about intelligence and not experience. And when we jump into something new, we say, well, I'm not smart enough. I don't know enough. And
Mm-hmm.
Griffin's saying, I'm kind of tired of that. It's not about knowing enough. In fact, I really think that if you know less, it's easier for you to have the experiences to be able to know more. So coming in with lots of ignorance, care less kind of an attitude is going to make you more of a wiener, a winner.
Yeah.
Turkey. um, he said for people who want to know about energy, I would get the Chakra Bible.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to look some of these up and make sure that they're real.
I'm
Do you know what I'm
sure.
saying? Before you post, maybe
Yeah,
you put links down beneath. My
I
fingers
know.
aren't searching right now.
That's fine.
Chakra Bible, the 4 Agreements. I do know this one.
I love that one. I love the 7 Spiritual Laws of Success by Deepak Chopra. That saved my life so many times. It's a very hard read
That's,
at first, and then it's great.
that's exactly. He says that one's a little more advanced, but for somebody who's already
Uh-huh.
around this, great read.
Because you can open it to any page. You don't have to go in order after you've read it. It's very weird. Yes.
Really? Is
Yes.
it like more affirmational and you can just
Yes.
absorb what's being presented?
And it hits you differently every time. It saved my life. Yeah. And at first I couldn't read it. I'd move it all around. I'd try so hard and I'd go back and try. And I thought, God, Marshawn, just relax your mind. Because it's written very
Above. Yeah.
yeah.
He wants you to elevate to get it.
Yeah. And also how does he feel about The Power of Now? I've read that. I love it. That's
He's
also a hard read.
That one's a little more advanced too. He's like, I'm thinking basic, like many lives, many masters,
Right,
bright
right.
life. He's
Right.
like, that's like somebody taking a shovel.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's an image. Um, you know, like you're digging down around the ground, you got to break all the roots to get the chunk of the earth up, and you're like, you can hear the roots go cracking. It's like he's doing the shovel in your brain, and he's cracking all the neurons that have trained you to believe in a certain way, that
Yeah.
time is linear, that experiences are inside boxes and categorized. And the shovel, he goes, that many lives, many masters is just enough of a light story, but it takes the shovel and it goes, you, you can no longer think the way that you used to.
Right, right,
There is a book review right there.
right. How do you feel? Um, I agree with you, and on that note, Mom, thank you again. Damn bitch knew everything. Sorry, I mean that in the most loving way, and it's unbelievable. Used to say, "The older I get, the less I'm sure of," and that means you're reaching intelligence, ultimate intelligence. To me, I didn't understand it at the time, but it meant I don't pretend to know everything, and I'm open to listening to everything. You know, is the way I take it now.
And she says it's also, um, if she says, if I can add, it's the emphasis is on being present and not on, oh, I know what to expect, or I need to be aware of what's happening. And if I'm not aware of it, then I must have an expectation to feel comfortable
Mhm,
about being where I am
mhm, mhm.
and behave properly and do properly to have a desired outcome. And she says, and that's all taught to us and based on what we know. And she says, it never really got me where I wanted to be with someone. And she says, and the older you get, the more room you have culturally to not care about it and not seem like you are in disagreement or shunning someone else's experience. And that little bit of crazy that they want to call you for being different somehow shines into there's some wisdom there. She's got her finger out. There's wisdom there. Now we're not going to call it crazy because she's older.
Right,
We're going to call it wisdom.
right.
is that is there an age limit where you're just like crazy, 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 crazy? Oh no, now she's 38. Some wisdom in there. Oh no, now she's 49. Now it's wisdom.
Yeah,
She's laughing.
yeah.
That'd be a fun book to write.
Right. Griffin always, Mom Griffin, you remember how Griffin used to always say Dad was the smartest because he'd go by age. But Grandpa's the smartest because he's the oldest. He had to have everything in order, like what runs faster, a tiger or a lion. He wanted to know those kind of questions from a very young age. Who's stronger, a bear or a lion? You know, he wanted these questions answered, and he'd always have to have order to things in his mind, and he just naturally put the older one as the wisest. So that means grandpa's the wisest. Yeah, he was on to something. Yeah. Yeah,
Griffin said because there was more experience.
exactly. Absolutely. And that's what I mean. What do you feel about A Course in Miracles, Griff? I've read that a few times.
He said, I like that a lot. What he goes, just, from my mouth, not from any ultimate truth, is I like it when people are reading and they have a book in front of them that doesn't feel like the Bible, because we've been so trained that the Bible, the whatever religious script you're holding in your hand, is supposed to be that which you follow and follow to a note, to a T.
Right.
And sometimes I see people getting into that Course of Miracles and substituting it for Bible, even though that's not why it was written or how, but people are building their lives based on it. And I want to see people build their lives themselves, and this information, this knowledge is sprinkled in. That's him sprinkling, if you
Hmm.
were wondering.
Hmm.
I called him a goob in my head, and he goes, thank you.
Thank you.